I'm Neil Nickhook, and we're in my studio today, and I have my friend Dave Block here and the lovely Sarah. And we're going to do the two perspectives thing, a bit of a challenge between Dave and myself. And the idea is in a studio you essentially have a rectangular box, grey wall and a white wall, and a multitude of lighting equipment, but you have to make the square box or the rectangular box interesting. And that's where use of lighting and light and color becomes important. So I called in Dave and I said, what you got? And he's going to show us some of his favorite setups, two favorite setups, and I'm going to reply with two setups of my own, and let's see what magic happens. What I wanted to do here was use gels to punch up the image. So I'm going to have a main light here, a gridded 3-foot octa to give the main light and Sarah. But the interesting part will be the gels. So I've got two turquoise gels in the back, and Sarah, just step aside. I've got a light here just resting on the floor pointing up with a red gel on it. So I like the idea that the cool colors and the red colors will complement one another. The turquoise will give a nice rim light on Sarah, and then we'll do that. So for a first test shot, I'm going to switch the main light off and see what the gels do, and I can balance them, I can control them remotely from here. Okay, Sarah, let's see what we can do. Just give me a very basic pose just like that, and lift your head slightly and turn a little more to me. There we go. So that's the shot without the main light. It looks good. We've got a bit of red behind you, a bit of a glow, and the turquoise lights. So I'm just going to switch the main light on from here. Now, in this case, I'm cheating a little bit because I'm not metering specifically. I'm just used to this light by now at a certain distance, certain power. I get a certain f-stop. It's just how it works with manual flash. Looks fantastic. I think this is a little high. I'm going to drop this light a little lower. That looks good. Rotate a little bit more, open to me. There we go. Lift your chin a little bit. Slower, slower, lock in. That looks good. Cool, cool, cool. And again, straight to me. There we go. Oh, hold that, hold that. And don't change anything, but relax the hand. There we go. And bring, that's it, that's it. And drop your hand entirely. I think we have it. I do like the results. The gels just really help complement the photo off. I like the purple dress, and it all comes together and works beautifully. Very simply done, the main light here, and then the gels adding a bit of magic to it.
So what we're doing with this shot is we have our main light, which is a beauty dish, which is gridded. So this is a pretty hard directional light. So as I'm working with Sarah, I'm making sure to instruct her to always keep her face open to the light so she doesn't drop her chin too far down, which would create shadows under the eyes and harden up the shadow under her chin. We have two soft boxes with B1 airs on them. Those are rim lights. They're just adding a little kick of light into her hair because it's so gorgeous. And then we have a backlight to just provide a little bit of light into the background so that it doesn't drop off to solid black. Okay, so here's the idea that we're going to do with this setup. We're basically going to do an image that's very focused on shape and sort of the architecture of your body in terms of bone structure, versus doing a lot of stuff with color, which is something we may play with on the next setup. So for this one, basically, we're going to break a bunch of rules in terms of posing. We're going to put you here, I'll demonstrate. We're going to actually square you right up to the camera. Because you're slender, we can get away with that, right? Normally we would turn your hip into the camera, but we're going to stay nice and square. We're going to give you a strong power position in terms of your legs, and then hands right on your hips. Now think about symmetry through your arms as we're doing this, and remember to keep your face up to this light because this is a directional light, and if you drop your chin, it's going to create shadows under your eyes. We're going to lose light in your eyes, and it will cause the shadow in your chin to be too dark. You don't have to have eyes to camera for this shot. Okay, here's how we're looking. So play around a little bit. Now we'll get a little bit away from that sort of asymmetry, strong arms thing. So you can do a little motion through your arms. You can do something that's a little bit more towards a more fashion-y pose. You can put your weight back onto one hip a little bit. Just don't forget about that main light and keeping it up. Yep. Break your arm off a little bit from your side so you're not blocking up against your side. Perfect. Yep. Good. Good.
So in the previous segment, what I did was I used the gels as adding a bit of extra color, a bit of an accent. Here I'm going to use the gel as a corrective light. So my idea here is I'm going to use the modeling light behind Sarah to light up her hair, but that is incandescent light. That is probably around 3000 Kelvin. And I'm going to add, with the Profoto B1, I'm going to add the gel, the full CTO. That'll correct. So on my camera, I'm going to be at incandescent, the tungsten little white balance setting, so that this light and that light are more or less matched in white balance. So what I want is Sarah's going to move her head a little bit. Her face will be darker because we're going to kill the room lights in the studio. Only that light will be shining behind her and the flash will pop. So the flash should freeze the action and we're going to get this magnificent mane of hair swirling around. I'm going to add a fan as well. So we're going to have the movement, the fan, the incandescent light in the back that'll allow the blur, and we're shooting a 1/10 of a second or something slow. We'll figure it out, and the flash will pop. Will stop the movement on her face. Let's see how it works. Turn your knees to the fan so it changes your body angle, and now do the sweep. Okay. With a few test shots beforehand, I figured out a 1/10 of a second, f4 at 400 ISO will do it. So Sarah, you're going to just give me a slight swaying motion, not too crazy, and just keep moving. There you go. And more. You can bring it a bit more volume to the hair. Just keep swaying, and again. And let's see what we have. My timing is a little off. Sometimes I'm too slow, sometimes I'm too early. I'm going to do another few sequences. And hit me. And again. And again. This looks good. Give me more of a tilt to the head. And make sure when you look at the camera that it still looks sultry and there's the connection to the camera. And just look at the camera so I can focus. Okay, and go for it. Nailed it. And let me focus again and do the movement. Beautiful. And give me more of a sway, and that looks wild. And let me focus and give me a few more. And again.
So for my second shot, I wanted to do a simple 2-light setup that focused more on color, whereas in my first shot, I really took away color. So what I've done is I've got 2 Profoto B1 Airs, one with a blue gel and one with a pink gel, and then the blue one is gridded as well to keep that blue light from spilling onto the background. So the goal we're gonna have here with Sarah is to turn her to profile so that we just get some rim light that's pink, and then the front light that's coming across her profile is blue, so we get some beautiful color contrast. So here we go. You can see we've got that really, really nice pink rim light that's coming around. It's lighting the back of your hair. It's got nice definition along the front of your neckline, and then it's highlighting your collarbones, or your right collarbone, I should say. And then we've got that blue light that's coming in from the front, that's actually really just gives nice definition to your cheekbones as well. So I think these are gorgeous. I hope you like them.
They're awesome.
Cool, thanks.
Hopefully this was an interesting glimpse in just a few of the possibilities of what can be done in the studio. Obviously there's a lot more adventures to be had, and we'll do it again.